What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, we are Lit the team, man. Turn. Change to my day shit outside. Big crippin' Gillie shit outside shit, man. Free pass down, free Congo, rush to your thing, 6 step, fuck up. Each day's new day, better version of yourself. Never sign bring that awesome back. Never sign tell you are, but also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble. Let's get on this revolution. Keep y'all right first. Come choose the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out you. Alright. Boom. Today to my free day shit outside. Big crippin' Gillie shit outside shit, man. Turn up. And there you go. Bruh. So we got some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Crip. This wild. You feel what I'm saying? Beef can sometimes start out of nowhere. That's what we think. But sometimes, you know, it's been happening over. It can happen over some few years of sneak distance. You know what I'm saying? Or slick shots, or somebody don't like something that they don't like. And sometimes, you know, it can reach the mainstream. So we got this. Let's get straight through it. So we got NBA Youngboy, man, going crazy at Gillie, Kulture, Offset jumped in other situations, bruh. It's funny. This motherfucker just got out of prison. He all about the fuck shit. Shit getting crazy. Let's get straight through it.
Did NBA Youngboy take it too far with this bar?
Had thought about and get it, but that ain't about his son. I got men's on men's. Go tell my house already.
So allegedly, NBA Youngboy dissed Gillie and a couple of more people. Talk about his son and stuff. Canadian man? Huh. So Gillie responded. So he said, I guess he's like taking out Gillie and taking out his son, or something about his son got taken out, something.
Oh, that's right. Before you do some dumb shit, young boy, before you go get that payback, before you go on that drill, take your ass home and lay it down. Go. And then if you wake up in the morning and you still feel the same way, go ahead and do what you got to do. But go lay it down tonight. Because when you get booked and cooked, do a lot of laying down and get used to it. Feel no type of way. You can't make me feel some type of way mentioning my son. I already come to grips with what happened, bro. That don't, you think you going, that don't make sense, bro. I already came to grips.
That's why I'm laughing, because I'm not.
Man, NBA Youngboy has been on the most reckless run of his entire career right now. We talking Kulture, Offset, Doughboy, all of Atlanta. This man has been dissing people like it's his job. But this week, he crossed in a territory that even his fans are struggling to defend. He brought up Gilly the Kid's dead son in a diss. And Gillie's response, he didn't even rap back. He just said one cold sentence that hit harder than a whole diss track. I'm going to break down exactly what happened, and I promise the history behind this is going to leave you speechless. So quick rewind for context. This all started with Youngboy going off on Future the same week Future dropped his album, basically saying nobody better let him flop.
No.
10 minutes before you decide.
Take 10 minutes for I decide. One, two, three. That's it, because I'm stupid.
Bitch, you flop with your bitch ass. I ain't letting you slide. They better not get to the you old ass bitch. You one in my antique closet. You thought you was gonna count me out too.
That turned into a back and forth where Youngboy apologized on an Offset live, then unapologized within an hour.
End of the day.
No, on some G shit, I gotta stop that getting emotional shit. Cause I really let some other pussy ass shit hurt me. And that's what really got me back on this bitch going up, tripping. I have been doing great, bitch. You right though. And I thank you for that. I apologize to you and I apologize to them too. And,
Yes, sir.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Then said he was done with everybody, except he wasn't done. Cause right after that, he turned his attention to all of Atlanta.
Nah, quit Offset. On my daughter, I ain't gonna respond to none of them bitch ass no more. Tell them niggas with me. All them bitch ass.
Doughboy ended up clapping back with his own dish.
Where you at? We can bump right now. Like, right now. We don't gotta argue or do none of this ass internet shit that you be on, dude. You need to come outside, gang. You not gonna even come outside nowhere in America, gang. You only feel safe out the country. Y'all don't see this walking around up here. Do you? No, you don't. That nigga only pop out where he feels safe. If he ain't got the police with him, he ain't going. All this do is sit in the house and yell at his phone all day. This is weird, gang. What's wrong with you? Let's got the right one today. I ain't scared of you. You might be scared of you. I ain't scared of you. The shit out. I swear to God, I
Lil Baby got a subtle shot on his way too. But I'm telling you, Youngboy been treating his notes app like a hit list. Then he went after Gillie the Kid. And that's when things took a turn nobody saw coming. In a new unreleased song snippet that leaked online, Youngboy raps about once thinking about unaliving Gillie the Kid, and then he follows it with a line mocking him for never retaliating after his son was murdered.
Oh, damn.
Man, that's not a punchline. That's somebody's real child. Gillie's son, Devin Spady, who rapped under the name YNG Cheese, was killed in Philadelphia back in 2023. He was only 25 years old. Gillie has spent 2 years since being incredibly open about how much that loss broke him, even talking publicly about preparing his son's body for burial. That's not a storyline. That's real-life grief. So when a bar like this drops, it doesn't land like a normal diss.
I heard the
it
nigga
lands
kill
like
his son
somebody
died, though.
reopening that wound on purpose. Now here's the irony that makes this even worse. This is the part that's genuinely stunning. There was no beef here to begin with. Back in 2023, Youngboy sat down with Gillie on his podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game, and in that same conversation, Youngboy was comforting Gillie.
You know, I appreciate that. I struggle every day. You know what I mean? my son was a year older than you. You know what I'm saying? So I struggle every day. You know what? When I wake up, that's the first thing I think about. You know what I'm saying? So, but I also know that I gotta be strong for my family. What makes you happy? What make me happy is knowing the fact that out of the history of my family life, I was the nigga that did it.
And why are they so far away from each other? Damn.
I was the nigga that said, no, the next generation ain't gonna be f***ed up. Because I'm leaving something. Feel me? That's what made me happy at this age.
That clip went everywhere at the time because it was such a human, tender moment between two
I didn't see this clip.
So the same man who once sat there consoling Gillie is now the same man mocking that exact pain for content. That's not even a diss anymore. That's a betrayal of a moment that was never supposed to be used as ammunition. Now, Gillie's response was ice cold. Most people expected Gillie to go scorch earth after this. Instead, Gillie got on a live stream, stayed completely composed, and quoted a Lil Durk lyric to make his point.
I don't respond to shit with Vaughn. So go get your gun. You hear me? I'm not... Neff, let me just tell you something, okay?
What's up, though?
I'm an old school nigga, man. All right? We don't say what we was going to do on the internet and all that type of shit. That's kid shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you was going to do something, you would have done it. Don't, you know. So Neff, that's rap music, man.
That's like
rappers make rap music. Rappers make rap music, man. That's all it is, man. It ain't nothing, man. I don't feel no type of way. You can't make me feel some type of way mentioning my son. I already come to grips with what happened, bro. That don't. But you think you going? That don't make sense, bro. I already came to grips.
That's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, you somewhere on the rocks and shit.
I'm not threatened.
Yeah. You gotta laugh at this shit, that's what.
Bro. You're younger than my youngest child, man. Sometimes you take too much of that shit, man. You know what I mean? Come down off that shit.
He said, and this was the part that's coded in anything Youngboy could have written, we don't say what we were going to do on the internet. That's kid stuff. If you were going to do something, you would have done it. Man, that's a masterclass in not giving anybody what they want. He didn't yell, he didn't threaten. He basically told Youngboy, you're not even old enough in this game to understand how real ones move. Gillie even added that his youngest child is older than Youngboy. That's not a diss, that's just facts. He also made it clear he's already made peace with his son's death and that no bar is gonna make him feel a type of way about it. Which honestly says more about Gillie's character than anything Youngboy said about anybody all year. So let's run it back real quick. Youngboy goes to war with Future, spirals into dissing all of Atlanta, then somehow ends up mocking a grieving father's murdered son.
He
a
got
father
a
who once showed him
rock on that
compassion on his
hand.
own podcast. And instead of a diss track back, Gillie answered with one calm, ice-cold sentence that's still getting talked about more than anything Youngboy dropped this month. Y'all let me know in the comments, you think Youngboy is going too far this time? Or is this just what we have come to expect from him at this point? Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.
So this is the main video of Offset, I guess, right here.
First and foremost, it's my beautiful daughter's birthday, Kulture Kiara Cephas. We're gonna wish Kulture a happy birthday, man. It's Kulture's birthday.
I thought he
happy birthday to my beautiful queen.
I was saying he could see his kid.
Follow the rules, very smart child, very loving child.
Caribbean ain't letting shit with that.
I'm thankful for being alive, you know what I mean? I'm thankful for God for keeping me here in this world. You know what I mean? Shout out to my beautiful daughter, Kulture. It's her birthday, y'all. Y'all wish Kulture a happy birthday. You dig what I'm saying? I'm in Europe right now. In Norway, I just got that doing the festival. And happy birthday to Kulture. Everybody say happy birthday to Kulture with a K, not a C. You dig? Yeah. God is good all the time. You know what I mean? We just want to stay focused and get to this money, get to this bankroll. keep God first. Yes, happy birthday to my beautiful queen, Kulture. I'm in a different time zone, so today is her birthday. If it ain't 12 o'clock in America, I want to wish to the world, my beautiful baby Kulture, happy birthday. My princess. You know what I'm saying? 5, what it is? What it is, 5, where you at? You know what I mean? Happy birthday, my beautiful baby Kulture. It's her birthday the 10th. It's her day today. And forever on the 10th. It's my baby birthday. It's her day. I just want to wish you happy birthday, Kulture, and I'm blessed to have you as my child. What a 5 at, man?
But that nigga had 2,000 views. That shit skyrocket up to 75K is insane.
You know what I'm saying? First, we got to say, tell the world, we got to say happy birthday, Kulture. It's the 10th, man. We got to wish baby Kulture happy birthday.
I just commented happy birthday, Kulture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, my brother. She gonna see this. I appreciate that.
I know, I really can't cry this bitch, though, because I really don't like how you just got on my ass, you hear me?
Yeah, man, we pushing the money. And, you know what I told you? You know what I mean? Don't let no chat your body. You know what I mean? We solid. We do what's right to our family. You dig? End of the day.
No, on some G shit. I gotta stop that getting emotional shit. Because I really let some other pussy ass shit hurt me. And that's what really got me back on this bitch going up, tripping. I have been doing great, bitch. You right, though. And I thank you for that. I apologize to you, and I apologize to them, too. And,
yes, sir.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You're right.
It's all good. We living. God is good.
I flashed out. I'm tripping. I flashed out.
We ain't doing that no more. We getting to it. We happy around this. You know what I mean?
Real shit.
Real shit. We ain't gonna get up out our body.
You in Norway?
I'm in Norway.
That's where my main home at.
That's why I called you, bitch. I thought you was around the way.
I love you, bitch. Hey, I'm sorry. Say, ooh, I flashed out. You got me feeling like a dick right now. I flashed out, bitch. That wasn't got.
It's all good, bitch.
I let some.
It's all good.
And it got me back going. I gotta let that shit go. I love you, bitch. Happy birthday, Kulture.
I love you, bitch. We gone. I love you, bitch. Yeah. Norway. I'm about to get up out of here. Before I get up out of here, I don't know if it's the 10th over there in America, but right now in Norway it's the 10th. And I just want to say happy birthday to my beautiful baby Kulture, the most beautiful, smartest angel in the world. She's my heart. She makes me keep the heart pumping. When everybody against me, my baby is with me. Yeah.
I wonder why NBA Youngboy don't fuck with Future.
No.
I did hear his album was trash though. I heard a little bit of snippet of it.
1, 2, 3. That's it, because I'm stupid. Bitch, you flop with your bitch ass. I ain't letting you slide. They better not get it up. You old ass bitch. You one in my antique closet. You thought you was gonna count me out too.
If there's one thing about NBA Youngboy's career, he's always going to be trending. I need y'all to sit down for this one because NBA Youngboy did not come to play today. Bro logged on to Instagram, saw Future dropping his album and just snapped. And on top of that, he's beefing with Blueface's mom, Carlissa, and then plot twist. Offset had to hop on the phone with him and talk him down like he's a hostage negotiator. This is the most chaotic 24 hours Youngboy had in a minute, and we breaking down every single second of it. So here's what happened. Future just dropped his new album, The Real Me. Everybody was expecting the timeline to be about Future's bars. Instead, Youngboy pulls up out of nowhere talking about F everybody, and that other rapper better not flop tonight.
Nah, quit, Offset. Oh my God, I ain't gonna respond to none of them bitch ass no more. Tell them niggas with me. All them bitch ass.
You didn't say a name. You didn't have to. Y'all already know how the internet works. And like 10 minutes later, everybody connected the dots and said he was talking about Future. And listen, the timing could not have been more perfect to blow up because Future is out here literally the same week getting compared to being hip-hop's toxic king. Here go Youngboy trying to rain on the whole parade. Now here's the thing that makes this even funnier to me. Youngboy don't even really have a documented history of going at Future like this. This ain't a Lil Durk situation. This ain't an NLE Chopper situation where we got years of receipts. This looks like one of them random internet crash outs where Youngboy just woke up with main character energy and decided today was the day. And that's kind of his pattern. We gotta be real about it. This dude has had run-ins with Kodak, Lil Durk, NLE Chopper, Joe Budden, Finesse 2 times, and the list keeps going. So when a new name pops up out of nowhere, the culture already knows what game we in. But wait, it gets crazier. Because at the same time all of this Future stuff popped off, NBA Youngboy is also going back and forth with Blueface's mother, Carlissa. Y'all know Carlissa don't bite her tongue for nobody. Apparently, Carlissa hopped on the live stream and said straight up, Youngboy is acting dumb.
I took it one time.
You took it one?
Yeah.
Oh, and you passed out, right? Yeah. And you tried to get on here and lie like you NBA Youngboy ass something. No offense, NBA Youngboy. I love you and your mama. But I'm just saying, you gonna sit on here and act like you cheated on your SAT when the real people who took SATs know you can't cheat on no SAT because everybody got a different test.
And then tried to soften it up right after. Like, no offense, I love you and your mama. Bro, that ain't how apologies work, Carlissa. You can't insult a man and then say no offense in the same breath. Youngboy heard about it and clapped back. He went at Carlissa on his Instagram story, called her the same thing right back.
Your son and his bitch. You act like you want to f your old ass, man. You stay, hey, that's your second time doing that pussy ass shit.
And then, this the wild part. Brought up Blueface's girl, Nevaeh, saying he was with her and that she covered up a tattoo of his name.
Hey, you want to know a little fun fact? Hey, ex Nevaeh, what they used to say under that feather on her face, boy? Bitch, they used to say Contrail. Hey, your son, I'll play on me, ho. I don't know. Nothing talking about to bitch.
Damn, what the hell?
And the other bitch, they're not flopping it, man. Oh, yeah, big bitch. Baby, nobody should have go down and play with me, man. Oh, yeah, your mama and yo.
They ain't fucking his business for him?
Now, that's a whole situation we don't even need in this beat. That's reckless. So now you got 3 storylines tangled up in one. Youngboy versus Future, Youngboy versus Carlissa, and now Youngboy dragging Blueface's relationship into it too. Okay, so this is where it gets good, because Offset of all people hops on Instagram Live with Youngboy right in the middle of the smoke.
Oh yeah, we seen this though.
What it is?
You know
what I'm saying? First, we gotta say, tell the world, we gotta say happy birthday, Kulture. It's the 10th, man. We gotta wish baby
daughter happy birthday, sweet moment. And then Offset uses that opening to basically check him like a big brother would.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, my brother.
I know, I really can't cry this bitch, though, because I really don't like how you just got on my ass here.
Yeah, man, we pushing the money. You know what I told you? You know what I mean? Don't let no chat your body. You know what I mean? We solid. We do what's right to our family. You dig? At the end of the day.
No, on some G shit. I gotta stop that getting emotional shit. Because I really let some other pussy ass shit hurt me. And that's what really got me back on this bitch going up, tripping. I have been doing great, bitch. You right, though. And I thank you for that. I apologize to you, and I apologize to them, too.
Yes, sir.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You're right.
It's all good. We living. God is good.
I flashed out. I'm tripping. I flashed out.
We ain't doing that no more. We getting to it. We happy around this. You know what I mean?
Real shit.
We ain't gonna get up out our body.
You in Norway?
I'm in Norway.
That's where my main home at.
That's why I called you, bitch. I thought you was around the way.
I love you, bitch. Hey, I'm sorry. Say, I flashed out. You got me feeling like a dick right now. I flashed out, bitch. That wasn't got.
It's all good, bitch.
I let some.
It's all good.
And it got me back going. I gotta let that shit go. I I love you, bitch. Happy birthday, Coach.
I love you, bitch. We gone.
Offset told him essentially, bro, you gotta stop letting your emotions get the best of you. And Youngboy, to his credit, actually sat there and took it. He said, I'm not cleaning this up for y'all. I gotta stop that emotional stuff. Cause I really be out here letting some nonsense hurt me. And the man apologized to both of them, Blueface and Carlissa, on live in real time. That's actually kind of a big moment. Offset really talked the whole rap beef down using a birthday message. Give that man a peace prize or something. And of course, because this is Youngboy we talking about, that apology didn't even last the length of a commercial break. Shortly after saying sorry, he goes right back on his page, tags Future directly. This time it says, you fly.
No.
10 minutes before you time.
Take 10 minutes, why does that? 1, 2, 3. That's 6. Oh, I'm stupid. Bitch, you flop with your bitch ass. I ain't letting you slide. They better not get to the
Then he calls him old and says he belongs in the antique closet.
old ass bitch. You one in my antique closet. You thought you was gonna count me out too.
Bro, the antique closet, that's actually kind of funny, not gonna lie. So within like an hour, Youngboy apologized, then unapologized, then he said, nah, I quit. Bro literally said he quit the beef after already going back on his first quit. This man is playing 4D chess with himself. There's like no other explanation. Meanwhile, Carissa out here doing her apology tour too.
You wanted to bring somebody up last night, well, you gotta...
I was trying to make a
Just gotta let it be now.
I used the wrong name.
You didn't use no wrong name. You knew what you was doing.
Everybody knows him. Even his baby mama, I love her too. I mean, his wife. Not his baby mama, his wife. Oh, that was horrible. Apologize, y'all. Thank you. I fucked up again?
Yeah, last night. You talking shit.
Tell him I was drunk.
Girl, my name getting mentioned.
Your name?
Damn, he said he fucked.
Girl,
Damn.
I ain't about trying somebody's son last night.
No, I didn't.
I swear to God, you
I
did.
said they didn't graduate high school.
And guess what? They talking shit now.
I didn't say they was dumb. I said they didn't graduate high school. I didn't say they was
Well,
dumb.
Pookie baby, but listen, they talking shit now.
Saying she used the wrong name and she loves Youngboy's wife. And this the cherry on top. She said she probably meant to say NLE Chopper instead.
And I be mixing them up. Well, I probably was meant to say Chopper. But you got me thinking about the other one.
Man, you can't even keep the disrespect straight, Carlissa.
Man, y'all playing dangerous game out here,
So,
gang.
bottom line, y'all, we got a rap beef, a mom beef, an apology, a retraction, another apology walk back, and a mixed up NLE Chopper mention, all inside like one night. And knowing Youngboy's history, the Dirk situation, the Kodak situation, the Chopper situation, don't be surprised if by the time y'all watching this, he already found someone new to go at. That's just how this man moves. Bro, it's chaos season every single week over here. But that's what we here for, right? Y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe, and if you...
Shout out to Rap Dynasty. So, NBA Youngboy basically beefing everybody.
When NBA Youngboy went after Gilly the Kid and used the death of his son as a punchline, the culture waited to see what would happen next. Wallo responded, and it was nothing like anyone anticipated. No threats, no diss track, no social media explosion, just a cold, measured statement that shut the whole conversation down in a way that 100 bars never could have. And before this video is over, you are going to understand exactly why that response hit harder than anything else could have. Why the lyric that sparked it crossed the line the culture does not forgive, and why so many people believe this situation went far deeper than any rap beef ever should. Yo, what's good, fam? Today we're getting into one of the most talked about moments in hip-hop right now. We're breaking down who said what, why it caused so much outrage, and why Wallo's response to NBA Youngboy dissing Gillie's son became the story everyone needed to hear. This one goes deeper than a rap beef, so stay locked in. To understand why Wallo's response carried the weight it did, you first have to understand who he is and what he survived to become the man standing on that platform. Wallo, born Wallace Peoples, was raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in an environment that did not leave much room for error. His early life set him on a path that swallowed up an entire generation of young black men from cities just like his. And at 7 goes deeper than a rap beat.
Wallo
So stay locked
fixing
in.
up for
To understand why Wallo's response carried the weight it did, you first have to understand who he is and what he survived to become the man standing on that platform. Wallo, born Wallace Peoples, was raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in an environment that did not leave much room for error. His early life set him on a path that swallowed up an entire generation of young black men from cities just like his. And at 17 years old, he was convicted of armed robbery and handed a sentence that would have destroyed most people completely. 20 years, 2 decades inside the Pennsylvania state prison system, locked away from the world at an age when most kids were still figuring out who they were and what they wanted their lives to look like. The doors closed on Wallace Peoples at 17, and they did not open again until he was 37 years old. Most people in that situation come out broken, institutionalized, or worse. Wallo came out as something else entirely, because what he did in those cells was something that most people never find the discipline to do, even in freedom. He read everything he could get his hands on. He journaled constantly. He studied human behavior, studied the systems that had trapped him, studied the world outside the walls that he was determined to walk back into as a completely different man. He was not just surviving a sentence, he was preparing for a life. When he was finally released in 2017, he came out with a clarity and a sense of purpose that most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever finding. He launched himself on Instagram under the handle Wallo267. Wallo267, a name pulled directly from his prison inmate number DG2670, turning the very thing that once defined his captivity into the foundation of a brand. His blend of raw street knowledge, genuine humor, and motivational insight drew millions of followers before the algorithm even knew what to do with him. He gave TED Talks. He became Chief Marketing Officer of the Reform Alliance, the criminal justice reform organization co-founded by Jay-Z and Meek Mill, advocating for the very communities that the system had failed. He built himself from a prison number into a movement that reached millions of people across the country. And everything he built alongside one person from the very beginning. Because this story is not just about Wallo, the public figure. It is about Wallo, the cousin, the best friend, the man who has been standing next to Gilly the Kid through everything. Gilly the Kid, born Nasir Fard, is one of Philadelphia's most respected voices in hip-hop. Long before the podcast, long before the millions of followers, Gilly was a rapper with real street credibility and a city that claimed him as its own. But his relationship with Wallo runs deeper than any of that. These two grew up together. They are cousins who knew each other before any of this existed, before the fame, before the prison sentences, before any camera was pointed at either of them. When Wallo came home in 2017, the link up between the two of them was about more than catching up. It was about building something together. In 2019, they launched $1 million worth of game, a podcast that quickly became one of the most influential platforms in the culture. They locked in a deal with Barstool Sports worth $3 million in 2020. An extension followed in 2022.
When they signed that contract,
and the
Gilly's
show
son
kept
died.
climbing. What made their chemistry different from everything else on the market was simple. Gillie brought the street credibility of a man who lived the Philadelphia rap life from the inside. Wallo brought 20 years of hard-won perspective that made every conversation feel like it actually mattered. Together, they built a space where the biggest names in hip-hop sat down not just for the platform, but because they trusted what Gillie and Wallo stood for. That trust, that bond between the two of them, is the thing you have to keep in mind for everything that comes next. Because what happened to Gillie in 2023 did not just happen to Gillie. It happened to Wallo too. In July 2023, Gillie suffered the kind of loss that no parent should ever have to survive. His son, Devin Spady, known in the hip-hop world as YNG Cheese, was fatally shot in Philadelphia during a triple shooting. He was 25 years old, young, talented, still building his name as a rapper in his own right, and gone in an instant on a night that changed everything for that family. Wallo watched his best friend, the man he had go through the worst experience a human being can go through. He was there, not for the cameras, not because it was good content for the podcast, but because that is who Wallo is to Gillie, and who Gillie is to Wallo. He stood beside his cousin through the grief, through the public mourning, through the interviews where Gillie described preparing his son's body for burial himself, washing Devin by hand as part of Islamic tradition, a moment Gillie said fundamentally changed the core of who he was as a man. Wallo watched his best friend carry that. He was in those rooms. He heard those conversations. He was present through the specific silence that follows when your child is no longer in the world. The kind of silence that no amount of money, fame, or platform can fill. And when the internet turned ugly and baseless conspiracy theories about the shooting started circulating, forcing Gillie to publicly defend his son's name again and again, Wallo was standing right beside him through that too. 2 years after the tragedy, Gillie publicly revealed that law enforcement told him the person responsible was a drill rapper named Noah Scurry. But that answer brought no real closure, because Scurry himself had already been killed before any accountability could follow. So Gillie was left carrying the weight of knowing what happened to his son with nowhere to direct it and no clean resolution in sight. Through every single stage of that process, Wallo was present, not performing loyalty, living it. That context is the foundation of everything that followed in July 2026. Because when that lyric dropped, it was not just Gillie who heard it. It was the man who had been standing next to him through every single chapter of that grief. Now let me break down for y'all exactly how the situation got ignited. On July 14, 2026, a snippet of an unreleased NBA Youngboy track surfaced on the internet, first picked up and shared by the No Jumper account before spreading everywhere within hours. This was not an officially released song. This was a leaked fragment of an unreleased recording. And that distinction matters because it means the track had not gone through any formal process before the culture was forced to react to it. What was on that snippet stopped everything dead. Youngboy rapped, "I had thought about killing Gillie, but that bitch ain't killed nothing about his son. Let that land." In one bar, Youngboy not only came at Gillie directly, but reached into the most devastating chapter of that man's life and used his murdered child as a punchline. The lyric was not just a diss. It was a taunt aimed at Gillie for not responding to his son's death with street violence, mocking a grieving father's restraint as weakness, framing the choice to not retaliate over a murdered child as something to be embarrassed about. For Wallo, a man who had been standing next to his best friend through every single moment of that grief, hearing those words was not an abstract hip-hop controversy. It was personal in a way that most people watching from the outside could not fully access. The real kicker, though, is what made this particular diss so much harder to process than a standard rap beef. There was no existing conflict between Youngboy and Gillie going into this moment. No prior back and forth, no documented bad blood, no history of shots being fired between them at any point. If anything, the relationship had been warm. By July 2026, Youngboy had been on a prolific run of dissing seemingly everyone across hip-hop, going at Future, Offset, Doughboy, Carlissa Stafford, and name after name without pausing to assess the collateral damage. But none of that prepared anyone for him to reach directly into Gillie's family and pull out Y&G cheese as a weapon. What made it hit even harder was the specific history between these men. Back in late 2023, just months after Gillie lost his son, NBA Youngboy sat down with Gillie and Wallo on $1 million worth of game. He came into their space, their platform, the show that Wallo and Gillie built from nothing and turned into an institution. He sat across from a man still carrying fresh grief, and in one of the most widely shared moments from that episode, turned the questioning around and asked Gillie and Wallo what made them happy. It was a disarmingly human question that neither host saw coming. Gillie spoke about legacy and survival with the kind of emotion that only comes from a man who has lost something irreplaceable. Wallo gave the kind of answer that only comes from a man who has lost everything, rebuilt it all, and knows exactly what it cost. It was one of those genuine podcast moments that reminded people why the show had become what it was. Youngboy had shown real compassion in that room. He had asked about happiness while sitting across from a father still processing the murder of his child. Wallo was in that room. He heard that exchange. He watched Youngboy ask his best friend what still brought him joy in the middle of grief. The contrast between that version of Youngboy and the one putting Y&G cheese in a diss lyric was not just confusing for the culture. For Wallo, it was a specific and personal betrayal that no amount of rap beef logic could explain or justify. When the snippet dropped and the internet erupted, Wallo did not give the culture what it was looking for. The expectation was an explosion, a threat, a public statement that matched the heat and aggression of what Youngboy had put in that lyric. Social media was ready for war. Comment sections were already writing the script of what they thought was coming next. Instead, Wallo stepped forward with the kind of response that could only come from a man who has already lived through consequences that most people only talk about. He and Gillie presented a unified front and delivered a message together that was far more powerful than any threat could have been. Wallo drew a sharp, deliberate line between the way the internet performs conflict and the way men who have actually been through something carry themselves when it matters. We don't say what we're gonna do on the internet, he said. That's kid shit. That statement did not land
The Chevy Equinox
did not land the way it did because Wallo was performing toughness for a camera. It landed because of the 20 years behind it, because of the sales, the journals, the hard lessons learned at a cost most people will never have to pay. This is a man who knows firsthand what it looks like when conflict moves past online theater and becomes something that changes lives permanently and irreversibly. He has lived inside those consequences. He served his time for them. He came home and chose a different path every single day since, not because the other path was not available to him, but because he earned the wisdom to know what that path costs. When he says that real men do not announce what they are going to do on the internet, he is not delivering a motivational speech. He is drawing from a place that cannot be manufactured or faked, and every single person who heard him knew it. Alongside Wallo, Gillie responded with the composure of a man who had already survived the thing that was supposed to break him. He took to Instagram Live and addressed the situation directly, and the calm in his voice said more than the words themselves. He made clear that Youngboy's lyric could not reach him. I don't take it no type of way, Gillie said. You can't make me feel no type of way mentioning my son. I already come to grips with what happened. I'm not threatened. He acknowledged the nature of rap music and its long tradition of escalation and provocation, but he drew a clear and deliberate line between rap competition and what had actually been done in that lyric. Using a murdered child to taunt a grieving father was not a rap move. It was something else. He also responded in a different register entirely, firing back with the bar pulling from Lil Durk lyrics as a pointed reminder that Gilly the Kid was still a rapper at his foundation and had absolutely not forgotten how to speak that language if he chose to. But even that response was controlled, deliberate, and precisely measured. It was not anger leaking out uncontrolled. It was a man calmly choosing exactly how far he wanted to go and stopping there. Wallo backed every word of it and reinforced every part of the message they delivered together. The unified front they presented made clear that this situation was being handled the way grown men with real experience handle things. Away from the circus, away from the comment sections, without performing their grief or their intentions for an internet audience that would move on to the next controversy in less than 48 hours. That steadiness, that consistency between the two of them was itself a statement. The response from the culture was widespread and genuinely emotional in a way that went beyond the typical rap beef commentary cycle. Fans flooded platforms expressing real respect for how both men carried themselves. Many pointed to the contrast between what Gillie and Wallo showed and what Youngboy had been putting into the world during this stretch, and that contrast was striking. Here was a man in the middle of a scorched earth era, firing at anyone and everyone without apparent concern for consequence. And here were two men who had every reason to match that energy, choosing to move completely differently. Voices across hip-hop media drew a specific line at YNG Cheese that they had not drawn at any of Youngboy's other targets during this period. Even people who had defended his right to go at whoever he chose in his music acknowledged that a murdered child mourned publicly by his father for 2 solid years existed in a different category entirely. There are unwritten rules in hip-hop, and one of the oldest and most universally understood is that the dead, specifically the children of people still in the game, are not ammunition. Youngboy's lyrics stepped over that line clearly and deliberately, and the culture's response reflected exactly how seriously that violation was taken. Others debated whether what Gillie and Wallo offered in response was enough given the weight of what had been said. Some voices felt the lyric demanded something louder and more visible. That was a legitimate part of the conversation, and it played out in real time across every platform. But those closest to the pain had earned the right to decide how it was handled, and what they chose said far more about who they were than any diss track ever could.
So what do y'all feel about this, gang?
Position throughout was consistent.
I mean, at the end
He
of
was
the day,
not
man,
managing a public relations moment
when you
or
famous
trying
as
to
hell,
control
bro,
the
your
news
life is
cycle.
on the internet.
He was standing beside his best friend,
You know,
and honoring a grief that he
it
had been
sucks
living
because
inside
you don't
of
know
for
about
2 years.
your dead
The
people,
culture
but
felt
that's how
that
it goes, you
distinction
know.
and responded to it accordingly.
This shit
The
happened in
broader
real life.
conversation this moment forced was one the culture wrestles with constantly but rarely names this directly. Social media,
gotta have
leaked
thick
songs,
skin out here in these
viral
streets,
clips,
man.
and real-time reactions have fundamentally
Niggas use
changed how
anything.
conflict operates in hip-hop. A leaked snippet now circulates faster than any
you
official
crash out,
release.
you don't crash
It's
out,
stripped of whatever context surrounded it in the recording session and lands in front of
You gotta
millions
think
of
about your people at the end of the
before
day.
any full story can be assembled or told. By the time the outrage peaks and the takes are written, the narrative has already calcified. Nuance has already left the building. And the internet demands a response on its timeline, in its format, at its volume. Wallo understood that machine completely and refused to feed it on any of those terms. His response was as much a statement about how the culture's media environment operates as it was about what Youngboy had put on tape. He was drawing a line between two entirely different ways of existing in a conflict. One way performs everything for the audience. It responds in real time, matches energy for energy, and measures its success by engagement numbers and comment section reactions. The other way understands that the audience is not a participant in what actually matters. Wallo chose the second way, not because he did not have things to say, but because he understood exactly where to say them and to whom. That is a level of discipline that the culture praises in theory and almost never demonstrates in practice. Wallo demonstrated it when it cost him something, and that made it mean something real. What Wallo and Gillie built together is also worth understanding something real. What Wallo and Gillie built together is
Y'all think
also worth
NBA
understanding
went
for what
overboard?
it
This was a
represents in the
nothing,
culture
really.
at large, because it explains why protecting it mattered as much as
I
anything
remember
else in this situation.
he did that song.
$1 billion worth of
I hate
gain
Youngboy. That
became
shit was
what it
crazy. He
became
dissed everybody
because it was
game,
one
nigga.
of the very few
I'm like,
spaces in
damn,
hip-hop
bitch.
media that operated with genuine standards. Guests came on knowing they would be treated as human beings,
At this point, I don't know if he
with
getting the
respect,
niggas a shout out or
room
what.
to be honest in ways that most platforms never offer. The show was built on trust, and that trust existed specifically because of who Wallo and Gillie are to each other and to the culture they both came from. The $3 million Barstool Sports deal did not happen because of a marketing strategy. It happened because of authenticity that was impossible to fake. The millions of followers did not come because of a content calendar. They came because people could hear the difference between two men performing street credibility and two men who actually lived it. Wallo and Gillie built that from scratch, using nothing but consistency and credibility accumulated over decades of real life. Allowing a leaked diss track to pull them into a public performance of retaliation would have betrayed the very thing that made the show what it was. Choosing Restraint was not just about dignity in a painful moment. It was about protecting something that had taken years to build and that served a community of millions of people who counted on it to be exactly what it had always been. There was also a question that nobody could cleanly answer throughout all of this. When a song is unreleased and circulates as a snippet, does it carry the same weight as an intentional public statement? Some people tried to use that argument to soften the response to Youngboy's lyric, suggesting unfinished material should be judged differently. But that argument fell apart quickly. Youngboy was sharing snippets on his own social media accounts throughout this period as an active part of his public presence, not as recordings that escaped without his knowledge. The line between official and unofficial was effectively non-existent. And more than that, the words existed. They were heard. Gillie heard them. Wallo heard them. A father who had washed his son's body with his own hands heard someone put that son in a diss track. Whatever the technical status of the recording, the impact was real and immediate. Debating the release status was ultimately a way of avoiding the only question that actually mattered. How does a man who sat in their house, who asked Gillie what made him happy while he was still in the middle of grief, end up putting that man's murdered son in a lyric? Nobody had a clean answer. And in the absence of one, what Wallo said remained the most coherent response anyone offered. At the end of the day, fam, this was never really about a rap beef. It was about what it looks like when a man stands up for his best friend in the middle of the most personal attack imaginable, and does it without making it a show. Wallo spent 20 years in prison, earning the perspective he brought to this moment. He came home and built a life, a platform, and a partnership with the person who matters more to him than anyone in the world. When a leaked lyric tried to turn Gillie's grief into content and Gillie's dead son into a punchline, Wallo did not perform his response for the internet. He handled it the way he handles everything, with the weight of a man who already knows what is on the other side of unchecked emotion and has chosen a different path every single day since he walked out of that prison. Think about what that actually takes. The entire world is watching. Every podcast, every blog, every corner of hip-hop locked in and waiting for the explosion that they were certain was coming. Every algorithm primed for the chaos. And Wallo looked at all of it, looked at his cousin who had been carrying the weight of burying his son for 2 years, and chose stillness over spectacle. The choice was not weakness. It was not silence born from fear or calculation. It was the decision of a man who has been in real situations, who has seen where unchecked reactions lead, who paid for lessons that most people in this industry are still too young to have learned. Devin Spady deserved better than to have his name weaponized in someone else's diss track. Gillie deserved better than to be mocked over the worst chapter of his life. And Wallo made sure the culture understood that, not by saying everything he could have said, but by saying exactly enough. That restraint, that precision, that refusal to give the internet what it was demanding is what 20 years in a cell and 2 decades of living right after can teach a man. And it is exactly why this response will still be talked about long after the snippet that sparked it has been forgotten. That is what loyalty looks like when the stakes are real. That is what Wallo looks like when it counts. Make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments, fam, because this one deserves the conversation. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We got more coming.
We back. Bruh, sometimes I be like, man, what's the vacation? Is the prison the vacation? Or is the real world a vacation? It's like son didn't be dying just to get back inside, bruh. I don't know, man. Shit wild, man. But you know, saying about Gillie son is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Future, I feel like he just catching strays at this point. They went at Carlissa mom, Carlissa, Blueface mom. I didn't know she has dated Nevaeh. Bruh, this shit getting wild. These hoes be getting passed around by everybody, bitch. These motherfuckers like a used tampon, bitch. They just getting passed around. But hey, like I said, man, sometimes you gotta be the bigger person, but I don't know what's going on. Blueface, NBA Youngboy did apologize, but he back on that fuck shit, so I don't know, bruh. You know, this thing can get kind of tricky, so hey, I hope y'all just stay connected, stay tuned in, and we out this bitch. Hood and outside, big crip game, that's our shit, man.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.